Good morning. Are you Xavier Garner?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Garner has 4 cases, and 230957, harassment by a person in a correctional facility, 242322, aggravated, 242323, and 2324. And Mr. Matuska, what is the announcement?
Your Honor, I've been able to collect most of the discovery. Still trying to get some of the digital media. I do expect this case to be placed on the trial docket. I just need to get the digital media.
Okay.
I've talked to Mr. Nichols about that, and that should be shortly.
We did speak, Your Honor, but I've been out the last few days, so I wasn't able to get that resolved for him this time around.
Okay.
I think it shouldn't be hard to get it for him and make sure he has everything.
Okay, so I'll do one more reset, and this will be the last reset. Y'all make sure you visit about all of that. Mr. Garner, what I have here is a pile of jail incident reports. So I want you to make sure you know that I know everything you're doing in court. And if this goes to trial, a jury will know everything that you're doing in our jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're fighting, you are talking back in an extremely ugly way to the correctional officers who are just there trying to do their job. That's their job. They're just going to work every day. They don't need to hear this crap from you every day. Every single day you're talking back, you're calling names, you're not following the rules. You want to do it your way. When you're in jail, you don't get to do it your way. And if you do continue to do it your way, you're going to end up with another harassment of a public servant in a correctional facility. You're going to end up with more time if you get found guilty because a jury is going to be mad because they're going to hear about all these things. So I want you to stop and I want you to understand, and I've been telling every one of you, how old are you?
22.
22 years old. It's all of you young kids out there acting like absolute heathens. So if you want your life to get better, you tell the rest of them, hey, I'm not going to get in trouble anymore. Y'all do what you're going to do. But running up on people, stealing their food, calling names, it's only going to get you in more trouble. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go back with the bailiff. Good morning. Are you Jacqueline Young? And Mr. Lewis, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment and the motion?
He does, Judge.
Give me a second. Mr. Young, in cause number 250309, you're charged with a third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle from February 26th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Speak up. And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with? I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Speak up. Because let me tell you something. I bet you're not talking that low when you're acting up like all these jail incident reports tell me. When you're calling names and you're acting a fool out at the jail. So use your big boy voice and answer my questions just like you do when you're acting nonsense to those correctional officers out there. Because I bet you're not whispering to them, are you? Are you? Okay. Because how you act at the jail, how you act right now, all determines whether I even go along with this plea agreement. I don't have to. You're on a probation. I don't have to take plea agreements on any probations. If I find that you violated your probation, I can give you anything I want to in that range of punishment. And I can say, you know what, I'm not going to let you guys negotiate. That I don't have to do that legally. So you better be careful with your faces and your words and your attitude, because I've read all of these and I already don't have a good feeling. Do you understand? So you need to give me a better feeling if you want me to go along with this plea agreement. Does that make sense? Okay. So, again, before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you will be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? State tenders number 1 in that case?
No objection, Judge.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Young is not competent?
No, Judge.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered a plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of that plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 5 years in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. Now, in cause number 21-37857,
Your Honor, it's a second amended. Just in the interest of economy, I would suggest we go forward on counts 1, 2, and 13. 13 being the offense he's already pled to.
okay, let me look at it. Thank you. I got it, thank you. So I have a second amended motion to revoke your community supervision. So you're on probation. We've got a probation for an evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. And we've got 2 more evading arrest or detention?
The second evading is a misdemeanor enhanced to a state jail. And
Oh, it
count
was-
20
right.
reads motor vehicle. That's incorrect, Judge. It's evading on foot
Okay.
with priors.
Okay, gotcha. And so this shows that you were placed on probation August 29th of 2022 for evading with a vehicle, and that was a 10-year sentence in prison that was probated for 5 years. Is that correct? And the state's elected to proceed on counts 1, 2, and 13. Count 1 alleges that you failed to report as directed to the probation department on October 2nd of 2024. And is that true or not true?
True.
Count 2 alleges that you failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of that. And is that true or not true?
True.
And then count 13 alleges that you were arrested for the offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle February 26th of 2025. And is that true or not true?
True.
What's the status of the possession and the failure to ID from that date?
I believe the failure is, I think, still pending. The misdemeanor.
The failure ID is still pending next door, Judge.
And examining the probable cause affidavit from that date, I don't see that there would be a possession charge, Your Honor.
Okay.
I will double check and see if there's, I didn't see anything else like filed or pending. At this point, I'll check and see if there's a lab report pending, but I don't think that's been filed.
Okay. What I'm looking at, just so that you know, I'm trying to go back and find which administrative hearing talks about the allegation of his behavior to, it looks like there was something that happened with probation. One of the allegations. So I want to see a little more about that. That coupled with what's been going on in our jail may or may not affect my same thing. It's the same thing. You did the same thing to your probation officer that you're doing in the jail. Do you really think that your probation officer is going to go on a date with you? Do you really think that a correctional officer is going to go, yeah, when you get out of jail, you're the guy I want to date? You got in trouble for saying and talking like that to your probation officer, and now you're doing it when you're in jail. Cursed loudly about the work you had to do for your community service, calling it slavery. You think community service is slavery? Do you think that? It's the same. I'm not taking 5 on the MCRP. I've already taken 5 on the other. Y'all can renegotiate or you can let me do it. So I'll hold everything right now. Y'all go visit some more. But that's the same behavior. We're not gonna reward that. All right, y'all go visit. I'll hold it instead of resetting it. I'll keep this paperwork, but I can make a modification if you come up with something different. But I'm not going to do that. All right, so we are back on the record in cause number 21-37857, and again, you're Jacqueline Young, right? And in that case, which is the motion to revoke probation, Mr. Young had entered pleas of true to counts 1, 2, and 13. There was an agreement for 5 years in the institutional division, which I said I would not accept. Have you guys had an opportunity to visit?
We have, Judge.
And what is the...
The new agreement is 8 years TDC.
All right, I'll take that. And Mr. Nichols, that's your agreement as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Young, again, I have some documents here, like the other case, that have your signature on them that the state's marked as exhibit number 1. And before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Speak up. And do you fully understand them also? And I have made the notation with everyone's agreement on the agreed punishment recommendation page that that's changed from 5 to the 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right. State tenders number 1 in that case?
No objection.
It's admitted. And so, Mr. Young, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 2, and 13 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and at this time, revoke your probation. Reassess your punishment in accordance with this agreement to a term of 8 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. These 2 cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time. As a part of this plea agreement, I'm going to sign a dismissal in cause number 25 DCCR 0385. I'm handing you in each of those cases the trial court certifications that shows that these were agreements that I followed, and so you waived your right to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. When you were here back in 2022, we went over the fact that you're not supposed to possess a firearm in Texas, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It can still go worse. I mean, I got 2 more years. It's not funny. It's not funny to you, but I know you're upset about all this, but the only person you should be upset with is yourself, you know? So anyway, because of the judgment entered against you, you're not allowed to possess a firearm in Texas. I've handed you that admonishment. Be sure and read it again. We already went over it before. All right, good luck to you. You can go back with the bailiff. I'm not accepting any plea agreements. If the jury wants to see all this and give you probation after that, that's going to be up to them. I'm not doing it. Go back with the bailiff. We'll set your case for, well, let me do this. Ms. Holmes has been appointed as your attorney, and she's one of the attorneys who handles a lot of cases for me as a court-appointed attorney. What I can do is release her and appoint a new attorney who can begin preparation for trial. Do you want me to do that? Or do you want to keep Ms. Holmes? All right, Ms. Holmes, get ready for trial. And let me tell you what you're doing. You're making her job hard. She's trying to help you. I wanted to try to help you. If you came in today and didn't have all this nonsense, I'm looking at it over and over, calling them the B word, not doing what you're supposed to, saying, I don't care, write me up, I don't care. If you don't care, then I don't care. Because I tried last time when we had this conversation. So your case is going on the trial docket, and again, we'll let a jury decide what to do with you. Go back with the bailiff. Good morning, ma'am. You're Veronica Randall. And Miss Randall has two cases, 250246 and 0247. Both are theft of property with previous convictions. And Mr. Vasquez, what is the announcement?
Judge, can we ask for a short reset? Miss Morfino's made a reasonable offer, but I need to do some research in Miss Randall's case.
All right, and
Judge, I think this is Mr. Vasquez's first setting on this. Previous
I
setting,
see
you
that.
asked me to kind of map the indictment. It's so many priors that it almost makes you cross-eyed.
yes,
I think we just have a friendly disagreement on what level it is. The offer as I have made for 4 years, TDC would be valid if it was either a third or a second. Mr. Vasquez's position is that it's a state jail. I will go back and look at it again. That is not my position. I will have another set of eyes on it because, like I said, it's so much it gets tangled up. But
And Your Honor,
regardless, I think it's at the very least a third.
thank
okay.
you, Miss Morfino, for your explanation. I'm sure I'll be in agreement, Your Honor. I'm just not certain right now,
Okay,
and I'm supposed to know these things.
that's okay. So what I'm going to do is one more reset. This will be the last one. Y'all take a look at all of it and all the priors and get that worked out. And then we'll get an announcement at the next court date. Either it's going to get worked out with the plea or it's going to go in the trial docket. So, Ms. Randall, I want you to know that I receive jail incident reports. So everything that happens out at the jail, I get a report of. The assistant district attorney gets it. Your attorney gets it. If you want me to accept any plea agreement later, this behavior needs to change. If you go in front of a jury, they're going to see these things. So you've got to follow the rules. If you want any benefit from any of us or a jury, you've got to show us that you can follow the rules and not continue what you've been doing in that jail. Do you understand? You're too old for this behavior. Right? A lot of times I'm having this conversation with my 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old boys. That's who's acting up in the jail. Not you. All right? So stop this because everybody's going to know what you're doing. All right? Okay. We'll see you at the next court date. You can go back with the bailiff.